Hi folks, County Line Gardener with you. Hey, this is the 2nd of June. It's time to do the update on the gardens. Here, this is County Line Gardener. We're here in southern Indiana. Thought I'd do this between rain clouds. It's mercy sakes, it's rained a lot. It has rained a lot, but that's okay. It's helping all of our plants. I want you guys to look at some of these tomato plants over here I've got. They're unreal. They're unreal how big they are. I'm trying to hold this camera up off the ground. I have a tendency to videotape the ground a lot in the golf cart, but we'll try to see how we're doing here. This is these are Amish paste. There's each one of these boxes has 18 plants in it. Here's my strawberries. These are the strawberries I planted this year, and I'm getting as many off of them as I am these, which were planted 5 years ago. I take good care of them. I go down to we got some pine trees right there, and I go down there and I get my pine straw from underneath it, and put underneath each plant, as you can see, and it keeps the fruit up off the ground, or off the dirt. But and it works. As a matter of fact, I did a little research, and that's why they call them strawberries, because they packed them in straw. I don't know that that's true or not, but that's just what I read online. You can read about anything online. These are my cucumbers. I think I got a little too many in that that raised bed out there, but we'll see. I don't think you can have too many of anything, it don't seem like. Here's the peppers. Peppers are doing pretty good. I've not ever been a real great pepper grower, but there's my onions over there. They're looking great. Those are let's see, those are candy onions, great big white ones. Got all kinds of peppers here. Like I said, I average about 18 to 20 plants per box here. I want you to look at some of the shafts on some of these tomato plants. Look at the size of that thing. They're huge. These are yellow tomatoes. One box of yellow tomatoes is all I wanted to do. Man, they're growing good. We keep I don't know if it ain't no big secret, but if there's a sucker there, we pull it off. I don't see any there, but we try to do a little bit each night. The wooden boxes you see are all new boxes. There's 3 of them, I think. Well, 6 total, but they're put together. But anyway, these are my Jet Star, Jet Setter. I like them. I like them. They're good tomato. Here's my Red Delicious right here. I don't know if I cut the wheel hard enough or not. I don't think so. Let's see. I plant my favorite tomatoes. If I had a favorite, it would probably be a Super Steak or a Supersonic. And then the Red Delicious. I love Red Delicious. That's what these are here. There's Supersonic, Super Steak, Jet Star, Jet Setter. Those are probably my 6 favorite. But I can't get over how big these main shafts are on these. It's great. It's great. I'm having a wonderful year of tomato plants. We'll see. We'll see. Just got to keep them inside the cages, and that's a hard thing to do sometimes. If you can see here, I use rebar. I got tired of breaking sticks and cutting sticks and ripping them, and so I went to the concrete place and I bought me some rebar, and they cut it for me. They cut it for me while I stood there. 5 foot length, 6 foot, I don't remember. 6 foot, I think. But they did a good job, and I bought 300 of them, and I'm still using them. And that was 6 or 7 years ago. We'll go around here. I want to make a U-turn here. I told you a long time ago, I put out pots around my greenhouse every year. every year so I can go buy them on the lawnmower or the golf car and pick one. And they're almost always cherries. This is a large cherry. If you've never had one of them, you've got to try one. They are the most delicious tomato. There's some carrots. I think I'm going to have a couple of carrots. I don't care whether I have any or not, but that's the best I've ever done on carrots. It's a cherry tomato. That's your standard super sweet 100. Here's the little yellow cherry tomato. This is what do they call them? Sun sugars. Here's the greenhouse. Let's take a real quick look in here. It's empty of plants anyway. I use it for a storage shed when I'm not using it for a greenhouse. Yeah, that's my weed killer, and that back there is bug killer. And anyway, my planter up there. Here's that garden soil I like to use, man. We bought this. Sometimes you can get 5 of them for $10, and we grab them when they come on sale like that. Here's the old water tank I use all the time. I just leave it in there. We got another golf cart with an empty bed on it if we need it. And that works out real well if we have to have it. Let's see, here's what I use when I fertilize. I used to use, well, it's in a bag. It's called Triple 12, okay? You guys are all familiar with that. I don't use it anymore. I use this right here. Now, there's pros and cons to it, but I haven't found a thing wrong with it yet. I'll take one of these bags. I buy the big bags when I buy them. One of these big bags here. Right there, like that, right there. I'll put that in that 35-gallon tank. Run the water in it, stir it up good 2 or 3 times. You can see there's still some in there. Oh man, it's good for the plants. It's good for the plants. There's my wife's flowers. She likes to plant the flowers. Let's go down here. She bought me a windmill. I don't know if she bought it for a joke or not. It works, but you can see I had to tighten it down with the tent stakes so it's blowing it over. But I'm gonna enlarge that one of these days. There's the bird feeder. Well, they're busy. There's my wife's roses. I wanted to show everybody my roses. We're so proud of them. And that's a real rose there. I call real rose, and the rest of them are knockoffs, called knockoff roses. Here's another real rose, I'll call it, over here. There's a funny story about this one here. It died. I thought it did. I thought that flower died. It was dormant for about 3 years. I'm not kidding you. And it come back to life, and with a vengeance. I mean, it's beautiful, beautiful now. I had an orange one up there, a tangerine colored, and it did die. It didn't come back. Look at the tomatoes I got hanging here. Yes, sir. Those are early girls. Yes, sir. There's some more. I'm thinking I'll have them by July the 4th. Well, let's go on back up there to the big garden. I don't want this to drag on too long because it looks, well, the sky, it could rain any time, especially here in southern Indiana. We'll go down through here. This is the Blackberry Patch, if you want to call it a patch. We got 6 100-foot rows here. Okay? Each one is a different kind. They're all hybrids. They're all as big as the end of a man's thumb. And there's no thorns on them whatsoever. I got to get down here. You're supposed to get down here each year and clean out the dead ones, the dead canes, which I will do here in a minute or two. We'll go in the house here for lunch. And I'm going to order me a new toy. Going to get a hedge trimmer, big one. It's battery operated with DeWalt. I don't know the serial number or the part number, but them things really look like they work good. And if you'll notice, see where we're going right now? Up until this year, this was all garden. Yes, sir. I'll show it to you on the way back too. We're cutting back. We're cutting back half. That's what we're doing. Cutting back half, like we used to grow. 12 rows of corn. We're growing 5 this year. The same with the Indian corn. Now the green beans we still got 8 rows of green beans. Here's I think you can see down through there. We thought we got washed out on our cantaloupe and our watermelons, but they're coming back. They washed them out a little bit down there. You can see where the dirt there, when it rains hard, it washes down through there. So it got some of my seeds, but not all of them. Here's the tomatoes. I've got 36 up here. 104. 104. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 114. How much is that? 436 and 114. Something like 150. I don't know. 160 tomato plants this year. So we didn't cut back too much on them. I just love them. I love them. Tomato plants are all doing well. It's wet out there. I'd take you down the road, but it's rained pretty hard here in the last few days. Here's my green beans. First row, second row, or whatever you want to call it. Now here, if you notice, where these little flags are, here and down there both. There's 4 more flags here. Okay, that's the next 4 rows of green beans. They've not been planted yet. They will be planted June the 12th, exactly 30 days after these were planted. See the weeds I'm dealing with? Really, it's actually grass, but I got to deal with that. I got to deal with it. Here's the Indian corn. It's doing okay. It's awful slow, always was. Then these last 6 rows is my sweet corn. Yeah, and it's looking good. It's looking real good. There's our other 500 feet, 5 100-foot rows of blackberries. You've heard me talk about these, I don't know how many times. These blackberries here did not cost me a dime. These all come from down in the other garden where the other blackberries are, and I dug them up. They grow out here. They get out of the row. I don't know if I'll see one here or not. No, that's not a blackberry. Yeah, it is. Right there's one. Okay? Usually I don't wait till they're that big, but anyway, you know what I mean. I dig them up, bring them up here, and replant them up here. That's what all 5 of these rows are. That's what all 5 of these rows are. I was just up here this morning checking things out. Check these out. Look at the berries. These are blackberries. These are those big ones too. Man, it's just covered with them. I love my blackberries. We make jelly out of them. We sell them. I think my wife's going to make me a pie this year. I don't know. She never has. But we'll learn. We'll learn one way or the other. We don't go to the other side of the woods anymore. This year we can't because the pond's too high. Can't get around the pond, and I'm not going to drive out on the street out there. So we just hold back, and this is all we got, which is plenty, believe me. This row here is, these were given to me by my friend that I sold him some tomato plants, and I mentioned I wanted some blackberry plants, and he brought me 5, bless his heart, and I put them in the ground. And that's what got me started on the blackberries, and that's my main crop now. That is my main crop. There's a wild one. See how it's going outside the bent row? Well, I'll dig that up and put it over here. I think I have one over here that still needs a little something. There's a little space there, but not much. Go around the garden this way. We'll roll this up. It's about done. It's about time for it to rain again. But it's looking good. I've tilled it once. Can't hardly tell it, but I did. That grass wants to grow right in the middle of that garden. And I don't know why. I don't know why. All I put on it's the blue stuff now. But here's the green beans. Boy, they're looking good. I love green beans. I love picking them. I love eating them. Here's where the other 4 rows of green beans will go, and here's the tomatoes. Like I said, I can't go in there. I don't know if you'll notice or not, but these tomato plants are not quite as big. And they were all growing at the same time in the same greenhouse, same seeds. I swear it must be that compost that I put in the raised beds that makes them things take off like a rocket. Here's that, used to be all garden right there. All this. There's a good 150 feet here that's going back. I haven't put the first grass seed on it. This is all, it just growing by itself. And I learned the lesson not to put triple 12 or fertilizer on it. If you do, that's all you'll do is mow. You know what I mean. This is, I'm about ready to wrap this up. There's a rose bush here. It's mine that, it's pretty. It's a pretty one. I don't know where it come from. I didn't plant it, but it's always been there. Okay, let's go back down here and go through the blackberries. They're looking good. Blackberries are looking good. Everything's looking good. Everything's looking good. Go down here and go through between 1 and 2. If you're wanting to know the names of these blackberries, okay, this first row is Prime Arc Traveler. Okay, the second row is Prime Arc Freedom. Okay, the third row is Navajo. The fourth row is Natchez. Okay, then we go back to the fifth and sixth row are the same as the first 2. Prime Arc Traveler, Prime Arc Freedom. One of these, I think it's the Traveler or the Freedom, one of the 2 has 2 a year, 2 crops a year, which is unreal for blackberries. Well, I got this here AgriFab. This is a lawn vac. Works great. Oh man, them things work great. I don't like emptying it anymore. So I give it to my son-in-law and he can come after it. Yeah, I wish he could come after that thing. Getting ready to call this a wrap on this. I sprayed yesterday the first poison, weed poison. I sprayed all these cracks in the driveway. They'll ruin your driveway, and weeds will. So we'll call it. I might as well show you my wife's idea here. If you can see those shutters. She went to town the other day in her GMC Terrain. It's not made to haul a whole lot of stuff, and she bought I don't know how many of these 1x4 cedar boards. Them damn things were $12 a piece. Okay, and she brought them home. I unloaded them. She told me she's going to do this. She wanted new shutters. There's the kind of shutters we had. Plastic, burgundy. They looked fine. They matched the door. They matched the roof. Oh, she wanted to, you know how women are. They wanted to change, which that's okay. They turned out real well. Here's the first pair that's done. And I hung them. I got a pair on the back that I hung up. They turned out pretty good. Turned out pretty good. I got to get the rest of them hung up this week. But that's something to do. Something to do. Got to put one up here on this door. So, folks, I'm gonna call today. I smell a skunk. I swear I do. I hope he ain't nearby too close. But I've been on a motorcycle one time. I've put about 15 miles on it so far. Maybe not that, but I'll probably not ride that thing 100 miles this summer. I don't know. Getting too old to hold it up for one thing. I got a grandson that's got his eyes on that, and I think I'll just give it to him. That's an awful good motorcycle. But I'm going to get off of here for now. Leave me some comments and subscribe, and we'll be better gardeners from it, both of us. There's the rest of my shutters I gotta get hung. Folks, we'll see you later. This is Canine Gardener saying bye-bye.